Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I am your host, Lorna, certified food freedom coach and founder of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. I've spent 10 years in an unhealthy relationship with food, binge eating, over-exercising, and feeling insecure in my body. This podcast is all about helping you get to the root of your food struggles and teaching you how to rewire your brain so you can end binge eating. If you're ready to improve your relationship with food and cultivate more self-love towards yourself and your health, this is the podcast for you. So let's get to it and jump right in. All right, we are on day 21 of how to stop binge eating. I am so excited. We got Ella's here, Chrissy's here. I have not read that book. Have you read Fast Like a Girl? You know what, Elle, it's so crazy. I actually had a conversation with somebody at my yoga studio who asked me about the same thing. I'm not even joking you right now. This is batshit crazy. That's wild. Oh my God, that's crazy. We're like in sync. We are in sync. That's amazing. Okay, Tasha's here. All right. Okay, you guys. So we are on day 21 of how to stop binge eating. And what I want to talk about, you guys, what I want to talk about today with you guys is how to stop comparing your journey to anyone else's journey. There are going to be people who conquer binge eating much faster than you. There's going to be people who conquer binge eating much slower than you. There are going to be people who release food guilt a lot faster than you, and there's going to be people who release food guilt much slower than you. There's going to be people that stop overeating much faster or much slower than you. And it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It is so important to focus on your own journey and your own lane. And why I want to talk about this is because of a few different reasons. I'm going to share my journey, and I'm also going to talk about one of my clients. So I'll talk about one of my clients first. So my clients came in to the Root and Rewire membership. This is a membership that helps you improve your relationship with food, get out of the diet binge cycle. And she came in, and there were other people in the membership who've worked with me before in, other places. And everyone was saying, like, haven't binged in a month, 3 months binge free, and all these results. And she came in and she was like, I'm still binging. Like, what's going on? Like, how come everyone is progressing so much faster than me? And instead of her looking at that and being like, oh, other people are better than me, instead of putting herself down, she actually saw that as a source of inspiration. She didn't use that as like negativity of like, there must be something wrong with me. Like, I can't conquer binge eating. Everyone else can except for me. She saw this as an opportunity to say, I'm going to learn from them. What else are they doing? Oh, they're plugging more into the community. Okay, they're coming onto the coaching calls. Okay, they're asking their questions. Okay, they're taking action. They're utilizing the tools. So instead of putting herself down, she's like, I am going to literally use that as proof for how I can conquer binge eating as well too. Where are you comparing, but in a bad way? Comparison doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, you could be comparing yourself to somebody else and being like, yeah, this person's so much further along than me, but not put yourself down, but see it as like, I want to learn from them. What are they doing? And this is exactly what that client did. She's like, I'm going to decide that I'm not different, that I get to have these binge-free months as well too. And guess what? She's completely binge-free now. No urges to binge. She actually sent me a message the other day. I have to pull it up because what she said was literally so sweet. I need to read this message to you. She's literally like incredible. I actually did a podcast episode with her. She said to me, I got to pull it up and I have to respond back to her here. So she said here, I thought I'd do something fun last night, a little test. My husband went to bed. I was all alone on the main floor. I watched TV until it was late. I wanted to see whether or not I get triggered because I no longer binge. I'm not worried about that, but I wanted to see if I'd be triggered to eat in secret while being alone. Let's just say I passed my own experimental test with flying colors. I had no urge to eat. I didn't even have food thoughts. Lorna, you are so right. We can conquer binge eating. Thank you for your guidance during this time in your Root and Rewire membership. P.S. I'm going for a run with my son now. And I was literally like, oh my goodness. Like, I am just not even only like so freaking proud of this client, but also imagine if at the beginning she saw everyone else conquering binge eating and thought like, I can't do this. Imagine if she gave up. She wouldn't be binge free. She wouldn't be able to be home alone when her husband goes to bed with no urge to eat, not even a single food thought, because she didn't let comparison get in the way. There's a question here. Have you ever relapsed in the beginning of the journey? Well, at the beginning, you're not fully conquered. So at the beginning, it's at the beginning of your journey when you haven't fully rewired your brain. There might be still times where you're overeating and binging at the beginning, but once you get rid of your binge urges, you will never relapse. I've been 4 years binge free. I haven't had a single urge to binge in 4 years. And my clients, the same thing. When you really do things sustainably, you won't relapse. There's so much confidence because you don't have any urges. It's not like you're relying on like willpower or distraction, like short-term quick fixes. Because when you're relying on those things and you're not actually doing things sustainably, then that's when you will have a few binge-free days, even binge-free weeks or months, but you'll always revert back to old habits unless you actually get rid of your binge urges. Clarice said, hey, I just want to say I'm in awe of your confidence to go live looking the way that you do. Thanks, Clarice. You made my day. I don't know about you, but what helped me was eating slow. Eating slow is very helpful for sure, to just like being more intentional with your body. Okay, so that was Mama's like, how do we sign up for coaching? You can message me on my Instagram. Mama of 3, you're a badass. Just message me on my Instagram and I will share a few different options that I have with you. So that was talking about my client, but also on my journey. I'm going to be very real and honest with you guys. When I was on my journey back in 2019, I had moments where I was comparing myself because I saw everyone else. I felt like everyone else was conquering binge eating and everyone else was saying how they can just eat without guilt and they can just go out for dinner like no problem. And that wasn't the case for me. Like I didn't like all of a sudden like become binge free. And I felt like it was taking a little bit longer for me. And I was like, I can either let this hold me back. I can either make up a story in my mind to say they're different, they're just special, they're just lucky. Or I can say, again, I'm going to use that as proof that if all these other people can conquer binge eating, I am no different. I chose to believe I'm not different. And it doesn't matter how long it takes Susie or Sandra or whoever, it doesn't matter. Everyone's on their own journey. For me personally, I was dealing with a lot of gut health issues, a lot of bloating issues when I was struggling with my relationship with food. And so I was like, I kind of use that as an excuse. I'm like, maybe other people can conquer binging much faster because they don't have to worry about bloating and gut issues, but like this is what I have to worry about. And instead of, again, in comparison mode, I was just like, that's their journey, this is my journey. And it's as unique as my fingerprint. And I'm not going to compare myself. I'm just going to understand that everybody's journey is different. Why do I feel like binge eating is like a drug addiction? Because it feels like it. It feels like it. Those strong urges to binge are so persistent and demanding, and it feels like you can't think about anything, you can't do anything else unless you give in and you honor that urge. It's like you're waiting for that dopamine hit. I remember being at work, already planning my binge for on the drive home, and it's like a fix, you know? It's like I don't even remember sometimes how I even got home. Can you guys relate? I don't even know how I got home. I literally was just driving and I was like, all I was thinking about was what I was going to binge on when I got home. I don't even know how I got home. I was autopilot mode. And then it's like you're craving to give into that urge for that dopamine, that sense of relief, that sense of pleasure. You know, when people leave the house, it's like, oh, gotta like do this thing in secret. It feels like an addiction, but the truth is you're not addicted. You guys aren't addicted to food. It only feels like you have a food addiction because there's these strong urges. And just like my client who said, like, now she can be home alone, not even have a single urge to binge. Because again, when you get rid of your urges, it doesn't matter where you are, who you're with, you won't have the desire to binge. I thought I was addicted to food, but I wasn't. I just was very impulsive with food. I had crazy food rules. So of course it made me, hi, Sarah. Of course it made me feel impulsive around food. Where is my top from? This is actually Buff Bunny. Isn't it so cute? Cute, eh? Cute little bit. I love it. It's from Buff Bunny. How can you get rid of your urges? Lauren, great question. So getting rid of your binge urges, there's a few things. So the first thing that I always talk about is not giving into your urges. So every time you don't give into the urge to binge, you are breaking that habitual pattern. So you don't give into an urge today, the next urge is going to be less intense. You don't give into your next urge, the next urge is going to be less intense. And it's going to be less intense, less intense, less intense. And eventually, you don't even feel the urge to binge. Thank you for sharing the live. So that's one way of practicing not giving into your urges. The other one is you want to prevent binge urges from arising in the first place, because it is so much easier for you to not give into your binge urges if you don't even feel it. You feel me? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, this makes sense. So different ways you can prevent urges from arising is, number one, you need to be honoring your cravings, because when you honor your cravings, you satisfy the need, and then you have less urges. Having satisfying meals, when you're fully satisfied, you fully enjoy your meal, there is no need to go back into your pantry. There's no need to continue eating until you're physically sick because you're like, I feel good. Versus choosing something that, a meal that you're like, oh, I have to like force myself. Yes, Mom, I just answered your question. Instead of like forcing yourself to just like have the protein and vegetables because you got to do that, and you're not even enjoying it. And then what do you go and do? You go back into your pantry and then you end up having what you wanted in the first place. I feel like if I lived alone, all these problems would be fixed. I get that, but also it's funny because I have clients who live by themselves and they're like, I feel like my binge eating would be fixed if I just had a partner, because I'm home alone all the time. And when I'm home alone all the time, I just binge. So do you see how it's like, it's so easy to think like, it's so easy to believe if I had a different situation, I wouldn't be binging. But we don't want to blame these external factors, because again, when you get rid of your urges, you can be by yourself, you can live with your family, you can go out for dinner, you can be on vacation, and you don't have the urge. So it's not a matter of like, oh, these people can heal because they live with somebody, or this person can heal because they live by themselves. It's the people that conquer binge eating believe in themselves, they get rid of their urges. So I'm sharing this to get you so excited that you can conquer as well too. Even if you're living with your family and they're making meals for you, or there's triggering comments, like you can absolutely work through that. Because when I was on my journey, I was actually living with my family at the time. And my mom would always be making like these desserts and like she'd be baking, and I used to get mad at her and be like, oh, if I just lived by myself with my husband, I would have all these healthy meals and like I wouldn't be eating all this baked crap. I was gonna say shit. I'm like, I would be eating all these like baked muffins and all these things. But the reality is it's a choice. I felt out of control because I had these urges. I was impulsive. I feared food and then I felt controlled by it. It wasn't my mom's fault with the fact that she wanted to bake for the family, right? And it's like now I can go back to my mom's house and I can go eat all the baked goods and control myself because I've healed my relationship with food. So it's not situation dependent. you can be in any situation with a healthy relationship with food and not binge. So Lauren, I hope that was so helpful for you. I feel like diet culture has encouraged binging from being so restricted 1,000%. I had 20 Oreos myself last night. Yes. And that's what I was saying about like, I have so many clients that are like, I keep binging because I'm by myself. Yes, exactly. You got to fix your relationship with food. You got to actually fix the root of your binge eating, because if not, it's always a band-aid solution. And this is why, like, I really focus on sustainability with my clients. I'm not interested in helping you have a few binge-free days and a few binge-free months. Like, you want binge-free years. I'm 4 years binge-free. I know what it takes to sustainably end your binge eating for good. And it's not going to come through just like managing your urges, but rather getting rid of them and truly healing your relationship with food, getting out of the all or nothing mentality. Love the belly and nose ring, really suits you. Oh, thank you. I've had that exact thought. If I live alone and thought someone else was here, I wouldn't binge. Yep, 100%. And again, it's so interesting from like one person to the other. It's like, and again, whether it's by yourself or with your partner, or even like, I remember I used to go into work and I worked at a place and I was like, oh, the people that work from home, they could easily stop their binge eating because they don't have to pack like their meals. Like they can just go into their pantry and have whatever it is that they want. Like it's going to be so much easier for them. But then it's like when I used to work from home, it was like, I would hear people say like, the fridge is there all the time, or like, it's so like, I'm just mindlessly snacking because like I'm in the kitchen, or like, so it's like everyone's always going to have this belief that like, if things were different, I wouldn't be binging. And the reality is that you're not going to, you can confidently say you will never binge again when you heal your relationship with food. And Lauren, that's totally okay. And it's like having that awareness of like, I'm definitely blaming my situation. Like, don't be beating yourself up about that, but it's just a matter of like, okay, I'm going to be aware of that. And I'm going to take responsibility. Even like the time of the month, hormones change the time of the month, cravings, different things happen during the time of the month. But you can either say, oh, time of the month, oh, I'm just going to binge, oh, I'm going to be more stressed, I'm just going to eat so much. Or it's like, okay, this is what happens during the time of the month, but I'm not going to I am not going to blame that for me binging, because we can always take responsibility. And I'm not saying responsibility in the terms of like, you're choosing to binge. I'm not saying that at all. But again, like, we don't want to be blaming our situations, because then it always is like, oh, I binge because I was stressed. Oh, I binge because of the time of the month. And it's just like, but there's people who also have the time of the month and they don't binge, or they're home alone, or right. So that's something to think about. I've noticed that when I binge, that first bite doesn't taste as good as the 20th bite. Yes. And this is why it's like so important to be intentional when you're eating, because again, when you're binging, you're eating so fast, you're not even tasting the food. And you don't even want the food. You're wanting what you believe the food's going to give you, the high, the euphoria, for me, it was like, I can just zone out from the world and like not feel anything. I literally felt like the world stopped and I can just do this secret thing. That's what everyone's craving when they're binging. It's like, you don't actually want the chocolate cake. Yeah, sure, it tastes good. But when you're binging on it, you don't want the cake. It's like you're wanting the numbed out feeling that the binging gives you. I feel sick every time I eat. Like all of your meals, or when you're binging? Never thought you'd be into piercings. They really see you. This is the only piercings I have. It's been 5 years of binge eating, and I don't even remember the last time I ate normally. I chose to binge again today because tomorrow I have an important test. I just want to hide and eat and eat and eat. So Desiree, I see you. And this whole binge eating thing it's so frustrating, right? It's like, I hate it. I love it. I don't want to keep doing it, but I also like the way that it makes me feel. Like there's just so many emotions involved in it. But what I would say is you're not choosing to binge. I don't want you to put that pressure on yourself because you said, like, I chose to binge again. You didn't choose it. Again, like if you have these urges, sometimes it feels like you don't have a choice. I remember on my journey, I didn't want to binge, but it didn't feel like I had a choice, right? It didn't feel like I had a choice. So I don't want you to be blaming yourself, Desiree. And also remember that there is support available for you. If you are wanting some support, you want to be part of a community, like I have an amazing membership. It's the Root and Rewire membership. And it has the community. Everyone just makes you feel so seen, so heard. You just feel so seen. You have the proper tools. You know how to heal your relationship with food. So even if you're stressed because you have an important test tomorrow, there's going to be tools that will help you regulate your nervous system so that you don't feel impulsive and binge. So I see you. And again, like I know these cycles can be so frustrating of like, oh, why did I binge? Or like, I know better. But sometimes it's not about like, you know what to do. A lot of you guys know what to do. And it's like, but why am I still doing it? Why am I still doing this? And a lot of the times, again, it's like, it's not even you. Like, it doesn't even feel like you. It feels like this out of body experience. So a lot of you guys need to not be so hard on yourselves, number one, but also get the right support that you need, right? So if any of you guys need support, like jump in the membership. Jump in the membership. If you guys aren't in the Root and Rewire membership yet, jump in. Jump in. Thanks for your words. Absolutely, Desiree. Love your explanations. You're very professional. Thank you. Ashley, I get so angry when I can't binge on what I want, when I want, or when someone tells me to stop. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And it's because when you're so used to following diet culture rules, and diet culture is telling you how much to eat and what to eat, and then somebody else is like telling you to stop, it's like there's just always so much rules, and there's never, what does Ashley want? And a lot of you guys would stop your binge eating much faster when you stop worrying about other people, when you stop giving into these rules, or what is this person going to think, and you just actually allowed yourself to eat what you want when you want. And I'm not saying free for all, go have 25 cakes. No, but if you guys stop focusing on, what diet culture is telling you, or how this person's eating this way, so I should eat that way, and you just start allowing yourself to just eat the way that you want to eat, and enjoy the foods that you want to eat without judgment, you're going to have so many less urges. The emotions are so hard to manage. Well, I think you're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to be frustrated, but I also think when you want those foods, you said, I get so angry when I can't binge on what I want when I want. So is this because like you're with people? Because if that's the case, like you need to start allowing yourself to have those foods in front of other people. And I know it's so scary. I know it's so scary because it's like, they're going to judge me, or they're going to make this comment, but you're going to have way less binges when you actually allow yourself to eat the foods that you want in front of other people. So let me know if that was helpful, Ashley. Any other questions, you guys? The anger makes me not want to stop binging. Well, binging is giving you something. Binging is giving you relief and comfort and pleasure. And this is why people have this love-hate relationship with binging, because it's like you absolutely hate it, but you also like it at the same time. And it's like you hate all the food rules, but then it's like, I need the food rules so I don't spiral out of control. Like there is just such a love-hate relationship with food and binging. How do I stop feeling this? What specifically? Like the anger? Honestly, what helped me be done with binging was, for me personally, I'm just sharing what personally for me, I really thought about how binge eating was impacting other people in my life. So I was so irritable with my family. I was so irritable with my family. I'd be snappy. I would like yell at my mom and then literally like 5 minutes later be like, what are you doing? Like, she doesn't deserve that. Just because you are struggling with your relationship with food and you ate too much doesn't mean that your mom deserves like this irritable, snappy daughter. Even thinking about like not wanting to be intimate with my husband, thinking about one day having a family and not being a good example to my son or my daughter. I couldn't do that. So you have to think beyond, oh, I'm just bloated and like I ate too much. Like you need to go beyond that. If you're just saying like, oh, I just ate so much, but like that never made me stop binging. I'm like, okay, I'm full now. And like, yeah, that sucks, but like, okay, I'm just gonna binge tomorrow. But instead, it's like you need to get deeper. What is your why? Why do you truly want to stop binge eating? Right? Why are you doing this? For me, it was for my family, it was for my husband, my family. And also like I felt like I was in the passenger seat of my life where all of my choices were dictated by food and how much I ate and how I felt in my body. And I wanted to be in the driver's seat. I wanted to take control of my life. So I just decided I was like, I could either be angry and frustrated or I can do something about this. And that's when I really committed to healing my relationship with food back in 2019. And then I'm 4 years binge free, you guys. And imagine if I didn't actually take that step. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be 4 years binge free. I wouldn't be helping all of you guys. Thank you for what you do. Absolutely. How should I set my mentality for tomorrow? Well, I know that you have an important test tomorrow that you said. What I would say is, number one, don't tell yourself that stress makes you binge. Don't tell yourself that. Because again, tomorrow, if you feel stress, it's like you link the two together and you're like, I have to binge because I'm stressed. So don't tell yourself that. But also, I think what it is, it's like eat regularly, eat normally the next day. It's so important to continue eating normally. A lot of the times when people are like, how do I set my mentality, for the next day or whatever the case may be, it's like, there's not like, the more changes you make by like eating less or working out more, the more binges you're going to have. So just try to eat regularly tomorrow. Stop telling yourself that, stress makes you binge. And prove to yourself that you can have a hard test or an important test that you're going through and also still really take care of your body. Think about like, how do you want to treat your body? You're going through this important test. You've probably been working really hard and studying, right? You've probably been working really, really hard. So you don't need more self beat up. It's like, treat your body with respect. Like, look what you're doing. You're doing something amazing. I don't know what this test is, but you're doing something amazing. You're going through this, important test. Like, you got to give yourself more grace. Girl, just tell me the secret. I'm gonna binge. There is no secret. The secret, you know what the secret is? Quotations. The secret is showing up every single day, putting in the work, plugging yourself into a community, my membership, getting the proper support, never giving up, trusting the process, and believing in yourself. When you believe that you can conquer binge eating, you will. When you're surrounded by a badass community of other people who are healing their relationship with food, it's inevitable that you will conquer. When you trust the process and you show up every single day, you're going to conquer binge eating. And nobody wants to hear that because I get it, Ashley. I've been through this. How do I get a membership for your program? Where do I sign up for the Okay, all of you guys message me on my Instagram membership. Right now, go to my Instagram, message me membership, or just message me on here. I prefer Instagram if you want to message me on my Instagram. I felt understood in a long time in this lab. Yeah, and imagine like being in the membership with other people who get you. I've had so many of my clients being like, you just like think the same thoughts as me. And I get it, you guys. Remember, I struggled with binge eating for 10 years of my life. And now I'm 4 years binge free. So I get it. I'm not going to just tell you like, try harder. Like you're just probably overeating. Like, no, I know exactly what it is that you're doing. So Laura, I'm so excited. Just message me on my Instagram membership, and same with you. Just message me on my Instagram. And Ashley, I see you. I know it's so hard, but like I said, it's only hard when you don't know what to do. So I remember when I was binging, like having binge after binge, I didn't know what to do to stop my binge eating. So I was just trying to try harder. I was trying to just like make healthier alternatives. I was trying to not honor my cravings. And what I actually didn't even realize was by what I was doing, which I thought was the right thing to do, I was actually exacerbating my urges. I wasn't honoring my cravings, and that creates more urges. I was trying to restrict the next day after binge because I needed to compensate and make up for how much I've eaten, and that creates another binge. So sometimes it's like, it's so frustrating when it's like, it feels like you're trying so hard, but if you don't actually know what steps to take, or you don't know how to not give in to your urges, it's like, I feel like I'm trying so hard, but for me, I wasn't doing the right tools. Like I was just trying to distract myself and stay busy. And I realized that there was a way to actually just get rid of my urges. Can I enter this community even if I'm Italian? Yes, we have people from like Puerto Rico. We have people in the UK, Australia, Canada, the States, Italian, Portugal, Colombia. I don't know. Do you tell us the steps to take? 1,000%, of course, 100%. Inside of the membership, you learn all the foundational tools. You learn all the foundational tools to heal your relationship with food and stop binge eating. For all of you guys on this live right now, go message me membership. I'll send you all the details. And what I'm actually going to do is anybody that signs up for the membership today, you are also going to get a coaching call with me. Let's just have some fun, okay? It's not going to be a private call. That's over $300. But I will give you a coaching call in a small group for anyone that joins the membership today. So go message me on my Instagram membership. If any one of you guys joins today, you will also get access to a coaching call with me and where you can get more specific coaching. So this is going to be so exciting. Awesome. Yes. Monica, I remember you from yesterday, right? You were on yesterday, the day before. Oh, this is so amazing. You guys are talking about my belly button piercing. I don't even know. I don't know. My sister, actually, you know what? This isn't even the right top. The top fell off and I lost it one day. So I had to put a different one on. So the top was supposed to look like this one, but I lost it. So I had to go with an ugly one like that. It's fine. Just a belly button ring. Okay, you guys, who's freaking pumped to jump into the membership, to get some support, to heal your relationship with food? I know you guys are all freaking badasses. You guys are so ready to take action, to heal your relationship with food. Summer is right around the corner, and I can't wait to help you just have those patio nights out with your partner, guilt-free, going for beautiful walks in like the sunshine, just living your life, feeling amazing in your own skin. Just going out for spontaneous like ice cream dates with your family. Like we're gonna have the best summer ever, okay? This is gonna be incredible. I'm so excited. All right, you guys, this is so much fun. So go on my Instagram, message me membership. I'll send you all the details. And like I said, for today only, yes, Ashley, I'm so ready. I can't wait to have you inside. Message me membership. Anyone that joins today, you're gonna get a bonus coaching call with me, and we can actually like, you can come on Zoom with me and we can actually do a deep dive. Like this is going to be insane, but for today only. So if you join tomorrow, you won't get access to it. This is just gonna be a special bonus because this live was so much fun, and like, why the heck not? For those of you guys who are ready, I love rewarding action takers because you're just a badass, and like, why not do an extra coaching call? This is gonna be so much fun. Okay, Ashley, this is so exciting. I can't wait to chat with you after this. So Laura, I'll be looking forward to your message as well too. So thank you guys so much for being here. This is your freaking summer, baby. This is your summer where everyone else is going to be dieting. Everyone else is going to be counting their macros. Everyone else is going to be holding themselves back and staying at home, isolating themselves. And you are going to be the badass that heals their relationship with food that could literally, you're just going to feel so amazing in your own skin. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to feel strong. You're going to not have any crazy food thoughts. You're going to be living your life this summer. This is your freaking summer. Okay. And I can't wait to help you get there. Let's freaking do this. All right, you guys, message me soon. Amazing. So good. I'm so excited. Message me on my Instagram. I am so excited to support you guys all. Have an amazing rest of your day. This was so much fun. Yes, I'm so looking forward to the coaching. Yes, it's going to be incredible. So have an amazing rest of your day, you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.